What's up, you guys? Mighty MC here. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. I'm going to do a couple of quick reviews on these two knives tonight, but first I want to do an update for you on this one. This is the Trivisa Vela. I did a review on this one already, and I talked about this is a crossbar lock, and I talked about how different it was because, like, if you engage it all the way, or if you pull that back although you retract it, this thing actually impedes its own progress, and that was really strange to me. I'd not run into that before. So I went back through all my other crossbar locks, and I don't have a ton. I have 6 to be exact. One by Best Tech, one by Spyderco, 4 by Bastide. And the one thing I did notice, and I have 2 on like various wish lists to buy lists, none of them have a flipper tab, and this is probably why. It's not hard to adjust to once you know what's going on, once you understand it. So if you like the knife, don't worry about it. You'll get it quick, but it's just a quick little pull. But that's the thing. When you pull it all the way down, the extra material off this flipper tab makes contact with this barrel spacer, or the stop pin right here, whatever you want to call it, and actually impedes its own progress. So that's what's happening. It's not the end of the world. I would have liked this knife better without a flipper tab. I would like most knives better without a flipper tab. So that's a preference thing for me. And this is probably honestly why they don't include a flipper tab on most crossbar locks, because you have to then figure out a way to, machine this to where that won't happen, or at least give yourself a bigger window. Like I said, if you like to fidget, it won't be a problem. You'll figure it out really quickly, and you'll just know what's happening. You'll understand. You'll get it quick. It's not a problem. It was just different for me, and I wasn't sure exactly why it was different. And then I guess I never paid attention that almost none of these have a flipper tab. So that's what it is. This is the Trivisa Vela. Go ahead and go watch the other review if you haven't. If you have, I'm going to throw the link to this one in the description again. It's still a nice knife. I would still recommend it. My card is beautiful. And it's good enough that I'll try more Trivisa knives. I will say that, okay? So that's what's going on there. It's just that flipper tab, but you won't have an issue. You'll figure it out quick, to be honest. Next up, I got this little guy, and I should have had more little guys ready to compare it, but I don't, because it suck. This is a little SixLeaf 5th pocket knife. This is G10 D2 steel. I know that'll turn a lot of you guys off. And there is no pocket clip or lanyard hole. But he's nice and flat, so I think he'll slide right into that 5th pocket with no issues at all. He's a front flipper only. Mine is red. Then I was supposed to get chaotic red, which is kind of like this, only it's a little more abstract. And I think there's a green or a black, but I'm not positive now. I'm going to put the link in the comment or in the description for it either way. They're about 20 bucks on White Mountain Knives, and it's kind of a cool little knife. Front flipper only, nice little blade, stone washed, kind of a Warncliffe style, I guess. The blade pitches up away a little bit. That's cool. Liner lock. He's very lightweight, not very grippy on the G10, but that's alright. Like I said, for the size of it, for what it's probably intended to be, that watch pocket, that 5th pocket, it's a cool little knife, and I like it. I really like to see him do it in a better steel, because I wouldn't mind having one of these just to throw in. And if you've got a backpack, a purse, a runner's belt, something like this, runner's belt, that would be perfect because it's so flat. It'll fit right in there. It's going to give you something nice to use in a pinch. And it's cool looking, to be quite honest. Lanyard hole wouldn't have killed him, but obviously they chose not to. Okay, and this is the SixLeaf SL-13 from Rattlesnake Knives. So I'll put a link to that in the description also, in case you want one. They're like 20 bucks at White Mountain Knives. Now this brute, this beast, this is the Sencut Phantara. Whew. He is huge. Like, he is just a gigantic knife. JG10, I think they have wood. They have regular G10. I didn't see any micarta, but it might be out there. Pocket clip, They could have done better. They could have done worse. We know how that goes. They did give you the extra little barrel spacer there. Back spacer, the fancy one for the lanyard if you want it. He's kind of thin, and that makes him not feel so big, which is kind of nice. Look at the stone washing, though. It's really good work. Like, for $43, this is a ton of knife, and the stone wash is really nice. And it's 9CR, and Sencut always just feels so polished and so refined in their knives, and especially at this price range. So, flipper tab, awesome deployment. The reverse flick here with the middle finger, that's awesome too. Can I get it with the thumb? Yeah, there we go. He's harder with the thumb because he's such a big blade, but you can do it. And then of course, because of the weight of that blade, it just falls shut. I feel like Sencut, like someone's got this kind of design in like Microsoft Paint and just keeps stretching and skewing it, because where they have the MEMS, the Honorous, and there's another really skinny one. I want to say the Sidious, but I don't think that's right. But there's like 3 or 4 Sencuts with a real similar, this kind of almost leaf-shaped blade, either elongated with the hole. I feel like someone's just playing with this blade shape and making it longer and shorter and fatter and taller and fatter and shorter and all the things in between. But it is Sencut, and even though it's 9CR, Sencut knocks it out of the park with 9CR. If you know Sencut, you know that, though. Nothing fancy here. Like I said, these are pretty grippy. I've had these be really smooth, but this jade is pretty grippy. I just wish they'd do better. So many budget companies fail on that pocket clip, and that kind of stinks. But let's do some quick comparisons. So this is Kaiser's Submarine, and these knives are about the same price. They're real close. Submarine might be a hair more, but they're both 9CR. They're both G10, but look at the difference. Look at all this knife you get. Now this is way too big for me. I'm not going to carry this, but look how much knife you get from Sencut for the same price. And I'm not knocking Kaiser. This little thing is awesome. I think it's a really fun little knife. And honestly, this is much more my size for my pocket, for my everyday carry. I just want you to see, like, what an incredible size difference there is. And it's amazing that Sencut can offer something like that and be competitive in the price range. I don't know how they do it, but it's impressive, guys. Let's show you one more here. The Ontario Rat. Now, they're about dead even in length, really, really close on both ends. Now, of course, you get a wider blade here, and probably a thinner knife, though not by much. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit thinner knife on the Phantara, but if you like big knives, you can't beat this thing. It's just absolutely incredible. Now, guys, I buy all my knives. I don't get anything free. I pay for everything. Don't tell my wife all that. But anyway, that's got nothing to do with this. But if the size is your thing, the ergos are very comfortable. That's a little flat back there. They could have rounded it off a little bit, but that's not a huge thing. And like I said, the thinness of the handle makes it feel more manageable, like it's not such a big, chunky knife. But so this is the Sencut Phantara. If you like the size, I think you're going to love the knife. And if you're a Sencut fan, you know, like I know, you can barely go wrong with Sencut for the prices they charge. I think this is $43 or $46. They do have a wood handle that I just saw come out. So, the Sencut Phantara, of course. The Trivisa Vela. Highly recommend that one too. I don't love the flipper tab though, but everybody's different. And this cool little guy right here, the SixLeaf SL-13. I am going to put links to all 3 of these in the description. I was going to spend more time on this, but it's Sencut. You guys know Sencut. If you're a Sencut fan, if you're not a Sencut fan, check them out. Even if you don't like this one, they've got several great knives that I think you'll enjoy. This is a really nice Trivisa, especially if you like crossbar locks. I don't love crossbar locks, but the blade shape is very nice. And I do love blue micarta though, so that's what lured me into this one, quite honestly. Okay, Trivisa Vela, Sencut Phantara. If you like big knives, you'll love this one. If you don't like big knives and you haven't tried Sencut, go look through their stuff. I can just about promise you, for what you pay for a Sencut, you're not going to be disappointed. Even if you think, how good could a $40, $45 knife be? I bet you Sencut impresses you. Okay, I am the Mighty MC. I'm going to put links to all these in the description for you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night.